Hello and a lovely warm welcome to you all. This is going to be part 1 of a part 3 video. I definitely cannot get it all into one because it was a huge job getting this area finished in my garden, and I think I would bore you if I showed you an hour and a half of me digging and building and filling and wheelbarrowing and shoveling and all the rest of the stuff that I did during this process of finally getting this area of my garden complete. It was a very cold and wet, miserable day, but it was the only time I had during that week to be able to get into the garden for a good few hours to get this area started. I got to the point where I couldn't put it off any longer, and even though I was getting wet, I just cracked on with it. I wasn't cold, it was just that horrible fine rain where you think you're not getting wet, but actually you're getting soaking wet. It was that stuff, you know, the not fun kind of rain. No splashing in muddy puddles. It was just wet on the glasses, wet on your clothes. And yes, it did make me feel terrible by the time I had finished. As you can see, the raised beds were in the garden, all built. Not very well, as you'll see later on in the video, when I had to rebuild a few of them because I'd put the bits in wrong. My first job was to get the edging done along the side to make sure I had a straight line, which it wasn't too bad if I'm in all honesty. I didn't put a string line in. It was so wet, I just really wanted to get this done. So I used which I think using your own eyes sometimes will work for something like this. And I put a line going all the way down. I figured out how deep I wanted the line by where my footing would be. So I wanted to be able to walk all the way down that side of the garden and deadhead, replace any flowers, pick any flowers, check for any bugs. I wanted to be able to walk up and down without having to walk on the grass. My grass is in terrible condition. It really is. So I really want to keep off it as much as I can during this period of the year. And yes, that was me wrestling with the climbing rose that I really didn't want to detach. It is still attached just about. Got thorn numerous times and had to pull thorns out of my hand. I did it. I stabbed my hand up a little bit, so I'll probably have a few thorns in there. But it's in. I just got to make sure I'm putting stuff underneath it just to raise it up a little bit. The line has been done. I have got some edging. I'm going to see if it's enough to go all the way down. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to go get my weed membrane. And what I've decided is I'm going to lay the membrane throughout the whole area. Try not to cut through things. And then I'm going to step into the raised beds and cut around the raised beds, and hopefully that will stop any weeds coming up around the edges of the beds, because that is when it's really difficult to get the weeds out, and I don't want to be getting my strimmer and then scratching everything. So I'm going to go and get the edging and the membrane. So I won't be putting any membrane at the back part here. There is absolutely no grass whatsoever here, no perennial weeds, nothing. This is mainly for the grass. So I will overlap this line a little bit here, so when I put the edging in, the membrane goes down the gap. So I am 1.5 foot short, so I'm going to go on a little scavenger hunt to see if I can find some more lying around anywhere. Okay, so this is what I've got to go down the edge. I don't want it sticking up out of the ground too much. I want it quite flush, but I want to be able to see it enough so the lawnmower doesn't go over it. And I found a tiny bit which probably won't work. And the big tarp that I was going to use for my washing line area, I will just reorder another one, or this might be enough because I've got 2 of these. Okay, let's go and cut it and have a look. Okay. Definitely not enough. Okay, that's done. That wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's keep my pile to a minimum. Okay, now I'm just going to show you exactly what it is that I've done. So the reason why I have this line here is I'm going to pull all of that out by hand. Again, put the edge in across there so the stones have got an exact separation from the grass. Again, I will be putting more stones in this area because, as you can see, lots of grass and things come up here. The waterfall beds I think are looking great, and I'm really glad I stuck to my decision on 3 and not 4, and to incorporate 2 round ones just so it doesn't look so blocky, where I'll be putting my fig trees to espalier across the fence. So yeah, so there's a quick look at there of that section completed, and it fits in really well with that wildlife area. I don't think it's taking away from it. In fact, I think once the stones were added, it really added to that section, and I just think that it was a good choice. I was really happy with how it looks, and I mean, this is just stage 1 of my plan. So yeah, so I was really pleased. So popping in the edge in, that hammering sound got quite annoying as I was watching this bit during editing. So I thought I'd do a little talk over for this bit. Milo then on screen having a little cuddle. I can't seem to get anything done in the garden without Milo wanting a cuddle or a tiggle or getting my attention. He was not that bad today, actually. He did keep himself to himself a little bit, and that kind of allowed me to get on. I think because it was raining, he wasn't overly keen on walking on the grass or messing around on the tarp because it was so wet. Okay, there's some noise that I really don't want you to hear on camera, so I'm just going to go off, have my cup of tea, put some rubbish in the bin, and then hopefully in about 20 minutes it'll be a little bit lighter, a little bit warmer. Yeah, the noise was one of my neighbours clearing their throat and spitting continuously for about 15 minutes. It's a morning ritual that I have to endure, which is not fun. It's rather disgusting and it makes me feel sick, so I have to go in the mornings when that happens. So what I've done here, so I did this one, I haven't overlapped it at the bottom, so it's poking in. So I need to somehow get that bit on the outside in there. Right, quick tea break. So the rain's really coming down now, so I'm going to have to protect myself from getting ill and my camera from getting wet. So I'm just going to take a break and I am going to see if what I can do to make all of these level, because every single one is off and I can't do that in the rain. Here is a little sneak peek of what is to come in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon for part 2. Just a couple of days to wait for that one. I hope you enjoy. Just a little reminder, it's free to subscribe and that means you get to see more of me.